Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and today this is just a quick little pickups video. This is something I picked up off eBay yesterday. I'm not going to be doing anything with it in the near future, but I couldn't really let it up. I'll say now I paid £1 for it. And what we've got here, it's a 1933 Ultra Tiger Radiogram. And these things don't turn up every day. Like I say, it's a very early radiogram, 1933. The Ultra Tiger radios, you can see quite common. I think they were one of the first super heterodyne receivers you could get. They're a short super het, which means they've, in this case, I think it's got four valves plus a metal rectifier. They do need a very good long aerial and earth to get a good reception on them, but like I say, it's an early set, 1933, and I couldn't turn it down at £1. It's in a terrible state. This is what we call a basket case condition. That's why I'm not going to be doing anything very much with it. I might, if I find a little bit of time, see if I can possibly get the chassis up and running in it, and see if we can actually get it to play. But the cabinet's really the bugbear of this one. It's spent many years in a damp barn. It has had woodworm. It has been treated in the past. It's not active now, but it does have a fair bit of woodworm damage, like down here on the front. But I can deal with that. The worst part of the cabinet really is the top. It's going to need completely re-veneering. It's had something obviously running on it for a long time, and the veneer, literally, you can just lift it. I'll take it off the tripod, and you can have a quick look at this thing. Like I said, we won't be doing any repair or restoration work on it anytime soon, but I thought I'd show you what I've picked up, show that you can still pick up these quite old sets for a reasonable price. But as you can see from the top, it's completely gone, the veneer. It's got big chunks missing there. The front here, like I say, again, it's got big chunks flaking off, so I'm going to have to re-veneer the whole top. I may even have to replace the plywood underneath, because it's been damp. I think something's been running on this for a time, and it's actually split and warped the underlying plywood, so I might even have to replace that. We'll have a look inside. I think it's almost certainly come through an auction house at some point, because someone's chalked like an auction number on it there. But we've got oh no, it's locked. It does lock into position. We've got 78 only deck there, and an incredibly heavy, if you look at it, Claro arm. It is very heavy. But I mean, this is 78 only, it should be fine. It actually takes steel needles as well. It's that old. It doesn't have a stylus in it. It does actually take the old steel needles like the wind-up gramophones did. And you play one record with your needle, then you eject it, and it should actually have a little cup in there to put your rejected needles in. You have another one there for new needles. Fortunately, I think in some of my old gramophone bits under the floor, I do actually have a couple of spare ones of them, so I could replace that. The whole motorboard's loose. Oh, that's loose. The whole motorboard's come adrift. Speed selector does actually still move, and the deck's still, and it's a bit gummed up, but the deck does still actually turn. Like I say, it's mega heavy, but it is in really nice condition, and the bakelite on it will polish up fantastically. In fact, even here it's very dirty, but I think all that would actually clean up quite nicely. Put the lid down, and the lid stay still works and everything. Have a look on the front here. Hopefully you can see this. I'm really not very good handheld, but you can see how basic a tuning dial we have. I think this sets medium wave and long wave. And we've got a tiny little tuning dial just with the frequencies on. There's no station names at this point when they were making radios. You just have wavelengths on a little little thing there, and that should illuminate when the set's actually on. Obviously I've not tried plugging this thing in yet. Interestingly, we seem to have a extra, it's missing its knob as well. We've got an extra control there, because the Ultra Tiger radio only has the 3 knobs like that. This seems to have an extra one. Whether someone's added that, I'm not sure. It has got some modifications to it. It's not completely original. There's some little marks there and there where a new baffle board's been screwed inside, and they've not done a very neat job of it. But so this thing's like 80 years old. Again, it suffered from, oops, can you see? It suffered from living in a cellar. If you look at the feet here, not in a cellar, in a barn, and there is a little bit of rot on the feet, but that's nothing I can't sort out. I'll quickly spin it round and I'll show you inside it. Because although, like I said, it's in a right old state, this radiogram rather, it is absolutely complete. No one's ever messed with it, as far as I can, apart from that baffle board, which I think probably the original speaker died in it, and someone just put a new speaker in it. It's incredibly heavy. I only just managed to actually carry this into my car. I'll spin it round though. It is monstrously heavy. I mean, I've messed with many a 40s and 50s radiogram, and they are big, much bigger cabinets than this, and they are nowhere near the weight of this thing. It is incredibly heavy. Right, there we go, we've got it round. I'll tilt you down a little bit so you can see, and I'll take the back off and you can have a look inside it. I've got screws which have got a little coin slot in them here, so obviously easy access. And something had been living, I have actually vacuumed the inside of this out, because at some point something had been living in here. If we notice here, it's actually gnawed around slightly, where obviously whatever was in there wanted to get out easier. And that's actually a little gnaw marks around there where they've widened out that slot there. There should be material like that in all these holes, but obviously over the years it's all just rotted away or been eaten. But we take the back off, and that's a proper back. I mean, it's like 1/4 inch thick plywood, that back. It's not like the later ones that were just made out of compressed cardboard. We'll lift the back out of place. And there we go. That's a proper 1930s radio receiver. It is very rusty in there, but it even has its original plug. And I will, if I do, I'll probably get this thing running, replace this, but it does actually have its original 1930s mains flex, and it's actually still flexible. Most of these that I've come across, that have actually had their original cable, as soon as you touch it, it goes crunch, and it starts cracking and crunching, where basically the rubber inside it's just hardened over the years. But actually, unbelievably, in this one, it's still flexible. I think it actually, I'll measure it and see whether it's got any leakage in it, but it actually still looks in reasonable condition, that, which is actually unbelievable. Especially since something has been living in here, because I found a little food store in the bottom of it, and bits of bone that have been gnawed and stuff, and like I said, we've got that bit of damage on the, in fact I'll show you that better on the, you can make that out on the camera. But can you actually see the teeth marks there? You can see it better on the inside, but you can see the little teeth marks where it's been gnawed at. I'll take you off the camera, off the tripod, and I'll just give you a quick squiz of the chassis. So this is only going to be a quick video, because I've got to go out and do a job for someone, but I thought I'd just show you what I've got. Bear with me while I just unscrew you from the tripod. There we go, you're free. Right, let's have a better look inside at the chassis. Hopefully you can see this. It's really hard to see what this camera's doing when when you're holding it like this. I can't see very well, but oh, there we go, that's better, isn't it? Can you actually see that? I don't know, because I can't see the viewfinder on the... There we go. That's better, you can actually make that out. But we've got a AC pen output valve there. We've got a metal rectifier underneath the side here. And then, I can't remember what the frequency changer valves are, but we've got a frequency changer valve and I think a be either IF or pre-amplifier valve in there as well. And that's still... So, you know, this is quite old, before the octal valves come out. I think most of these will be 4-pin. And that's still got a screw-on top cap on it, so you can tell how vintage it is. We've got big metal condensers here. These are the capacitors. Big metal can capacitors, one there and one there. I don't know if you can make it out, but that up there, let me see if I can get you in. That's the motor for the 78 only record deck on top. It's absolutely massive. And what is concerning me ever so slightly at the moment is because that motor board's come loose, that is actually sitting on top of that AC pen output valve. So I may pull the chassis out just so I can do something with that, because that's quite an expensive valve if it got broken. And yeah, that's a good one, obviously. We don't want to risk doing that. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to do. I just wanted to give you a quick overview of this radio, and hopefully in the future it's going to get restored, and we can do something with it. Actually, so this is only a quick video. I'm going to take you out in the back and I'll show you what I'm doing with my for my new workshop. Just bear with me. I'll take you off the tripod again, and we'll go for a quick walk into the back garden. In fact, I'll just shut you off a sec. Okay, we're in my back garden now, and we'll have a quick look. That's my my wood store where I basically pick up any salvage timber that I can find that's used to me. Interestingly, them bed headboards there, if you've just seen that bit in my dining room where I've been showing the Ultra radio, the window bottom is actually made out of one of them. Like I say, I don't like wasting anything. I picked them up off the street, the big pine boards, and I made my new pine window bottom out of one of them. But what I was going to show you is there. That's where my garden shed used to be, and I over the last month or two, when I've had some spare time, I've moved it to there. That's my greenhouse. That's full of tomatoes at the moment. But no, I've moved my garden shed from this big concrete base there to a new concrete base that it's on there, which it actually fits on. It didn't actually fit on that. It was too small for it. It was making the bottom of the shed. That shed's 20 years old. It made the bottom of the shed rot out, so I built a new concrete base. I don't know if you can just make it out there at the bottom. And I transplanted the shed off that base and its rotten wooden floor, and rebuilt it on that concrete base there, which leaves this, which is quite a decent size. It should do for what I want. It's about 3 metres by 2.5 metres, perhaps just under 3 metres by 3 metres. It's not huge, but it will do. And this is the site of my new proper outside workshop. I'm just using it for my patio furniture at the moment. Well, it's free because my patio, which is up there, is full of bits and bats and rubbish at the moment. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. So this was just a quick rant and look at that radio and a quick update on I am actually trying to sort a new workshop out, but with various other projects on at the moment. It is taking a little bit of time. Show you some of the things in the garden. My fig tree is doing very, very nicely. You can see, if you can't believe it, we can grow fresh figs in the north of the UK. I've got some nice fresh figs growing on there. They should be ready in a month or two, I think. Got Joster there, which is a cross between a blackcurrant and a gooseberry. It's rather tart, but it goes very, very well in like a crumble or something like that. Got a grapevine over there, which it doesn't produce any fruit, but the leaves are very good for doing stuff, vine leaves and things like that. So I've got one of my apple trees here. Again, it's a bumper crop for apples this year. It's absolutely heaving. And then I've got another apple tree there, which again, it's absolutely heaving with apples this year. I did have a gooseberry there, but it had a fungal infection, so I got rid of that. But I've got my last fruit tree, which is another gooseberry here, which I really need to pick the fruit before the birds eat it. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now, so I hope you enjoyed this little update. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.